And at Chuncheon, they put me on guard. I never liked to do guard, but I was on guard. And a big Mongolian wanted trouble. So what I did, I got my rifle and my bayonet, and I stuck it here, and I say, okay, you want to fight? Okay? And this is embarrassing. Because I wanted to fight, they put me in a jeep, and they took me to the front. And they put me with the 40th Infantry Division, 223rd Regiment, 2nd Battalion, Howe Company, the bazookas. And as soon as I got there, I became a gunner. And it was the most beautiful thing there. We used to, there it was called, no, I don't have it here, No Name Hill. And a reporter came and said, what do you call this hill? And we said, we don't know, we just took it from the Chinese. So he put No Name Hill, and that's what we call the hill. And I was made a gunner, and then I was made assistant platoon leader. And my company commander and me, we loved to shoot at the Chinese. This was the deal. I would say, cuñado, no hemos agarrado ni una ametralladora. And he said, what do I do? And he said, go like this and shoot. And some guy from over there would shoot us. But we had a 50 over here. And we shot at the 50, they went down. And then I, with my recoilless, would hit the mountain and cover them up. And then we ran to our bunker because they would shoot the mortars. And we had this. If you hear the sound that way, somebody hears the sound this way, somebody got the almata like that, wherever the point was, the jets were already coming. And we mark on this side of the mountain with the purple smoke. And then the jets would go like this, and one guy would go up like that, and then they become like a merry-go-round like that. I could talk to the guy that was leading the group, but he could not talk to me. And then I say, are you through? Did you blow them up? He would go like that, and then they would take off, and they get on their flat carrier. We were 18 miles from the coast, so you call them, they were already there. They were the most beautiful support that you could get. My first fire mission was a tank. A No Name Hill was about 6,000 feet high, and the tank was coming down the valley, and my company commander was there with me, and we were about 8 or 10 guys. And he said, look at that little house. And I said, it's not a little house, it's a tank. And he said, how do you know? I said, there's a tree. Pay attention to the tree, and the tree is moving back. So he was the one that was in charge. I was the gunner, and we got, whatever you shoot, you get 3 points. This way, and then you fire for effect. So once we got the 3 points, everybody ran away. And I destroyed that. That was my first fire mission. Another fire mission that I cry a lot. Somebody said, cuñado, there's 3 Chinese in a hole, artillery hole, and we didn't have time to suppress them or anything. And what I did, it was something in a hurry. I shot at the mountain and covered them. And I got maybe crazy or something happened. And I went in a bunker and I wouldn't come for days. Until I told the guys, what is the priest doing here? And they said, oh, he just came by. I said, you guys call him bunch of cowards. And I talked to him and he said, it was either them or you. So I said, Father, I want to go to confession. I want to go to communion. And as soon as he gave me communion, I ran out. And that was the end. And from there on, something started to get in my mind not to know anybody. Mm-hmm. I think nobody believes me, but it was a group. It was like a team. Somebody would say, the tanks, I love this. The tanks had a target, and we let the tanks shoot at the target once. And when it recoils, then we would shoot at their target, because we could put 18 18 big shells. The shells were two shells weigh 89 pounds. So we would knock that in, and they would tell us a lot of bad words. You Puerto Ricans, this, SOBs, y quién sabe qué. Y le decían, I'm not Puerto Rican. And they say it's the same thing. So they would cuss us out. And we love to knock the target from the tanks. One thing that I used to do, yo era muy curioso. One night, about maybe 20,000 Chinese attacked us. And they pulled the tanks and put them behind the mountain. I said, bunch of cowards, stay in front. And, maybe about, I don't know, pero parecían hormigas. And the guys were crying, and the color guys were crying. I said, why are you crying? And he said, because the Chinese are coming. I said, but we have fences, mines. Although their artillery was clearing the road, you know. The artillery was shooting, and they were running. And I said, don't shoot, don't smile, close your eyes, and your nature with you, you're black. That's the way it was, you didn't move. So, and you were praying for daylight, because in the mountain it's daylight around 4:30, 4:15. Once daylight is over, then you got it made. If there are thousands and thousands coming, there will be some stragglers, right? And what we did, when it was daylight, apenas amanecía, we would shoot at the mountain, their mountain, and tell the guys to come this way. And by 11 o'clock, we would capture quite a few of them. The most beautiful thing in the war is to get prisoners, because you squeeze everything out of their mind, you see. I don't know how many prisoners I got, maybe I captured 60 or, I don't know, but it was, the way I worked to capture the prisoners, it was myself, a Latino, and a Korean. The other guys wanted to come together like that, and I said, get away from here. For this reason, they said, cuñado, ¿qué estás haciendo? I'm praying. So they gave me this apodo, Ángel de Trinchera. And that's why I always wear the little angel and this. And I said, get out of here. And they said, but God is with you. Well, God might be with me, but it's going to blow all of us up, because they would bunch up, and they thought they were covered by God, and I was close to God. And I said, I'm a sinner like you. Anyway, the prisoners, well, let me tell you one day must have been about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then it got to be 1, and I kept on, and 2, and then a guy came by. I said, cuñado, I'm going crazy. And he said, why? I said, mira, hay puros troncos, and I see some trees coming. Wow. I had never seen trees coming up. Dijo, oye, me estoy volviendo loco. ¿Tú has visto árboles que caminen? Well, they were dumb. They wanted to use the Japanese things. Remember, in the jungle, they would put all the branches. But here, there were no trees. They were giving themselves up. So I told the guy, oiga, cuñado, what can we do? He said, I don't know, I'm going down. And myself and the other 2 guys, we threw some grenades at the mines. And they ran into the mines. And then in the morning, we had to get soldiers to go dig the mines. And the Chinese, we poured 5 gallons of gasoline, and we would burn them. And I would cry a lot, because my mother used to make chicharrones, and it smells like chicharrones. And it's one unbelievable thing. When a person is burning, he has a lot of manteca and boils, and I start crying. I went to my bunker, and the same thing. Maybe I lost my mind a little bit, so they had to bring the priest, and he said, nothing you can do, it's either them or you. And when it was ours that were in the mines, we got the mines out and put them in a bag or something like that. And the front is very funny. Sometimes you cry, and sometimes you laugh. Sometimes it's emotional. Pero when you have about 78 men, you cannot be emotional. You have to take care of them.